There's a new Shoe0nHead video I want to look at. The average male fantasy. Is this the average male fantasy? Now, I'm gonna be real. There is no way you can comprehend what the average male fantasy is, because at the moment, our male gaze has completely shifted away from reality. And at this point, people are loving shit that we can't even... we can't even put it on paper, man. Like, let's take a look at this video, because I think we're gonna see something crazy. Oh my god.
Men, what do they want? Money, status, fast, expensive cars? What is the ultimate male fantasy? Is it fame, fortune, 3 hot chicks at once?
Yes.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell
no,
yeah, brother.
according to men on the
That's
internet,
right.
it's something a little more simple.
It's just a 2D anime girl that loves you. That's all. That's all they want. They just want a 2D woman that never complains, that always says cute things and looks at you like they love you, and then spends time with you, and also leaves you alone whenever you want to play games. I just want to be happy. Is this an anime dating a disabled girl?
This is literally just a fetish.
Man. I don't... Okay, that dropped fast. I don't think loving somebody that is disabled is a fetish. I think you just don't mind. You don't mind and you just love them. I don't...
I fucking hate men so much. Men are why we can't have nice things.
Why is it always this scenario whenever you see a loving couple or a story about a loving couple? So there are always some individuals out there that has to draw the wrongs and create their own scenario in their mind to make this a bad situation.
As I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter,
Oh no.
where I saw this post. A montage from the anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who is assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right? Also just unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war.
Classic
Men versus
Twitter.
women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean-shaven? Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's quickly get into today's sponsor, Henson Shaving.
How
You ever
many
just
of these
accept
are
that
there?
some products are just garbage? Like, for years I thought ripping your tights on the first wear was just a part of being a human.
Yeah, I think that this this plot device hasn't really, it's not like it's uncommon. I think there are many movies similar in this fashion, and it's understandable how this can also happen. I mean, the thing is that whenever you're disabled, many things can also feel isolated. And if you're an individual, there's a lot of individuals out there that also live an isolated life by choice. And whenever you get that moment to, I guess, like you see a scenario like this, it's very plausible that they can grow an attachment, either best friend or become lovers. I mean, like, I can see how somebody could fantasize about that or find that like fascinating or interesting or romantic, that the fact that two people that have just found each other, taking care of each other after just never really been with anybody else. The moral of these stories is that treating disabled like real people, because they are. Obviously, they just can't use their legs or arms or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with somebody disabled. And I can understand if you, for some reason, look at somebody disabled and you think to yourself, this is going to be a chore. Like you got to work more around them. I can see why somebody would think that this could be a negative feature. But there's a lot of people out there that honestly don't think about this. In the end of the day, the most people that are not stuck up online just look at people as people and take their personality for granted, and also experiences and things that you live with them has a big effect on how an individual feels towards somebody else.
We just accepted that. That's just how it is, sweetie. But that
My
should
5-year-old is a disabled and he's a riot.
be how it is. It's a bad design. And that's why I like Henson shaving. Because if you've ever used a multi-blade razor, you're probably sick of the irritation.
I kind of related, but oh god, it really seems like those Twitter users are infantilizing paraplegic people, especially the girl. Like, what the fuck? She obviously still have mental agency, and Lamar, she's still a person who, but the Twitter uses her to make her out to be helpless and an infant. Yeah, like the thing is that the only like she's normal, but she can't use her legs. That is it. But they make it so that this is a predatory scenario, most likely, where she was forced into it. But it's just a beautiful situation. I don't know. Like, I don't see why everybody want to find the negative in things. And these are the things I dislike about like social media and Twitter. This is why I don't even use Twitter, like in most cases, or Reddit even, because like I don't use Reddit or all of this shit. Is like I feel like people are trying to draw the worst in everything, and it's just like I'm gonna be literal. I just look at it, I'm like, come on, bro, like shut the fuck up, like stop talking already. Holy,
the razor burn, the overpriced blades, and you probably think that's just the way it is.
I've never had that issue.
It doesn't have to be how it is. Thanks to Henson Shaving. Henson Shaving is on a mission to improve shaving, with no gimmicky subscriptions or moisturizing strips, but with real innovation and a focus on your skin's health. What really sets Henson apart is their engineering, with their Henson AL13 safety razor being manufactured in an aerospace machine shop that built parts for the International Space Station. This precision allows the blade to extend just 1/1000th of an inch beyond the shave plane, less than the thickness of a human hair.
Metal?
The razor prevents any bouncing or skipping, resulting in an irritation-free shave every time. And here's the best part. Once you invest in a Henson razor, it's a lifetime purchase. The only thing you'll need to replace are the blades, which literally cost only 10 cents each. So once you own the razor, you'll be spending like $3 to $5 on blades, compared to the ongoing cost of buying expensive plastic cartridges. Henson's store offers a variety of colors and even a titanium version, so you can pick the razor that best fits your style. So if you're tired of razor burn and overpaying for blades, now is the perfect time to make the switch. Just head over to hensonshaving.com/shoe and add both a Henson razor and the 100 blades to your car, and then enter code SHOE at checkout to get the 100 blades for free with your purchase. Your skin, your wallet, and your environment will thank you. Big thanks to Henson Razor for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. You didn't skip the ad, right?
Nah, I always watch.
Let's get back to the video. Now, I am not an anime connoisseur. In fact, I basically know nothing about anime. I am probably the most tourist of all the tourists. Yeah, hi. I have a question. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot? I watched Pokemon and Sailor Moon when I was a kid, and a few years ago I watched Beastars on Netflix. Legoshi, best boy. Not a furry, by the way. And honestly, that's about it for my anime consumption. Unless you're counting VTubers. If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime. But because of this clip going viral...
I think it's funny how VTubers become like a middle ground of people that like anime and don't like anime. Because like, there's still a lot of people that hate VTubers. There's still a lot of people that look at it and don't understand it at all. But there's also a portion of people that hate anime, but enjoy VTubers. Don't mind them at all.
I watched Josie the Tiger and the Fish, and well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. I thought it was a really cute, good story. I only cried a little bit, and I completely understood what the tweet meant by calling it the average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands of people angry at this post? Well, let us dilly-dally no longer.
Because they're miserable. They're all miserable. They're lonely and miserable. That's the reality of it. What would you bet that probably 99% of the people tweeting under that post are single? What would you bet? Because I put $100 that 99% of the people tweeting under there negatively that are focusing on this narrative in that direction is definitely single. Unholy, thank you so much for 37 years, man. Thank you for the T1 sub. I appreciate it, man. Misery loves company, exactly.
And read some of these
miserable
angry
people,
replies
yeah, it is.
to get a better understanding.
It's always the individuals that are like that are stuck on the internet all the time, that are single, that never does really anything. And I mean like single in the sense that you don't have a physical relationship. I'm not talking about an online relationship. It's always the ones that doesn't touch grass that are always popping off like this.
Of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control. Oh no. They think, oh god, why? Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually watched the movie, Josie is not always happy. And she's absolutely not portrayed as some, like, vulnerable, ooh-woo, sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong, she like straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house, she was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media. But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead, he's already got his shit together. And she learns to live life from him. He encourages her to live her dreams, and in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way. And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time? His fantasy is that
I think that anime nowadays, anime has always been mainstream in a way. I think this year anime has been really shit. Like, I haven't even watched a single anime in like 6 months now. But like, in many ways, anime is getting more and more pushed into mainstream. People that would never know about anime is talking about it now. It's kind of funny to see.
Becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich. Sounds about right. Oh my god, after watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was
that's exactly the problem. They're happy. And the one commenting are not. They're miserable.
Average male fantasy. Their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this. The problem is these people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it. Not to be that guy.
What?
I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist. The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird. Average men can't even be nice to their healthy.
I wonder where they got this idea from. Like, I find it so weird because I don't get where they got this idea from, that just because you don't have functioning legs, suddenly you can't do anything, you can't say anything, you can't control your life, your narrative. Like, where did this idea come from at all? How does one come up with that? I don't know. Like, I guess for some reason, Twitter looks at disabled peoples as not humans. They look at them in a way as they don't have any self-control, or any way of choosing their own narrative in life. Too much gooning? I guess so.
Be nice to their healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think they'll be able to handle disabled person as their lover? Whoa. Normal? What do you mean by normal?
They're
These people
normal.
are just so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat?
Chat. You have lost it if you call people chat out of the blue, at least in a random YouTube video. Like, I think you've lost it. I get it if you're a streamer and you're streaming, but off the stream, no.
I don't even live stream. Who's chat? I'm disabled, blind. So I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you.
She
and you make
talked
my
to me,
days
guys.
happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. No, the fantasy is the woman appreciates his efforts to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled. Your meds, schizo. You don't even know that f***ing guy. What do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are you?
This is crazy.
Also, the majority of men participate in abuse of disabled people. Are you okay? The majority of men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are men that just wake up, take a shit, get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out.
That is literally 99.5% of men in this world. That is their life. that is literally nearly every single man's life. You gotta add the gym as well. Like a lot of men go to the gym as well.
That is the majority of men. Men commit 95% of all rape, but okay.
Where did they come? Where did they find that? Where did that come up from? Except Asmund, because he don't shower. Yeah, he barely shits too.
Barging into the romance section of Barnes & Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that coming from? So close, this is fetish content. Ah yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025, that might be true. Oh, you want a wife and kids? You sick fuck. But this is literally just a perverted fantasy, LMAO. You think it's a perverted fantasy because... How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally seeing a cute montage of a male and female character having fun together, being in love together, and being like, rape! He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these people okay? Stop watching porn. Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf Billionaire.
yeah, put down those rom-com and yaois and all of that. Put it down. Put it down for a second and go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the park. Go talk to people. Turn off your phone. Turn off your 5G. Go stop looking at Twitter. I feel like we are running into a time where you got to start asking people, do you use social media? Like on a first date. I feel like now to figure out how people are, you got to ask, do you use social media? Do you use Twitter? Are you often on Twitter? To figure out like a way of understanding it, are they normal, or are they just gonna randomly start freaking out? Hi Washington, hi, hope you're doing good Washington. Hello.
Whatever the fuck you read. I swear to God, some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet gooner blush.
Yeah.
Or so I've been told. This is literally just a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend there's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been on the internet for 20 years. I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen shit you wouldn't believe. But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before, the billionaire werewolf fantasy. This is just the average male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme. So what is the average male fantasy? The average male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike. It is simply to love and to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a pin in this because we are going to come back to this in a big way, trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist. The average male fantasy is that a woman who isn't fat.
That's just a song? That is kind of just a song. Well, you're an example, Ali. How did your life change when you stopped using Twitter? I mean, I was never attached to Twitter. I kind of only did Twitter because of VTubing. I kind of used it as like a daily quest whenever I had a Twitter account. It was basically like a daily quest and just a reminder for me to go check things out and post stuff and do stuff. I didn't really give a shit. When I stopped using Twitter, I'm gonna be real, I've been less, I don't know, like I've read less dumb shit at least, so I've wasted my time less on stupid shit. And it does, I'm gonna be real, like whenever you read all of these dumbasses yap so much for a while, you get a little bit exhausted mentally. So it's been good to not use Twitter at all. And I'm not thinking about using any social media at all either for a long time because I just don't see no reason to it. I really don't. 50 Shades of Grey would have seemed extremely problematic if the dude wasn't rich. Yeah.
The average male fantasy is actually job security. You know what? These guys may have a point here. Pedophile alert. Men want disabled child wives. Average male fantasy is a disabled child. More proof that men are pedos.
Where did they get the child from? How did we go from they can't escape because they're disabled to her being a child? As far as I know, they're both at the same age, no? Like, what?
That's a little girl. This is weird.
That's a little girl.
First of all, she's literally older than the guy.
Who could have guessed? Because if the girl is not morbidly obese? Yeah, because she's not 55 and fat. That's why she is, that's why she's younger. That's exactly it. I find it so odd though. I know I know that it's kind of hard to depict this, but there are women out there in their 20s, mid-20s that aren't fat. There are women out there in their mid-30s that aren't fat either. And there are women out there that always look young, even though they're like 34. I just, the problem is that whenever you're creating these art forms, whenever you're creating anime, you have just a skinny girl and people instantly assume because she's skinny and cute that she has to be like 10 years old. Outside of USA? Yeah, outside of USA. I mean, like that's like, there's a lot of dudes and a lot of girls, and I've even an example, like a lot of them look nearly exactly the same in their 20s, when up into the end to late 20s and into their early 30s. Like a lot of them look exactly the same.
The guy is 22 and she is
like, if you have less fat on your body, you will generally look much younger. Like it's just about health. Like you don't need to change so much from, I mean, whenever you're 18, yeah, you look pretty young, or 17, you look pretty young. But between your 20s to 30s, etc., you kind of look the same.
Is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag maxing. And
damn.
Yes, she may be physically
wait, let's go back.
So, child, more proof that men are pedos. That's a little girl. This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24.
Holy, she's 1 year away from being expired. Damn.
In anime years, he is practically hag maxing.
Nice.
And yes, she may be physically disabled, But aren't all men mentally disabled in
Yes.
their own special way? At least the ones in my audience.
Yeah.
They will freely admit this. Maybe she, the older woman, is taking advantage of this sensitive young man. Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child. Where are her breasts?
Because a girl doesn't have breasts, she's now a kid. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. I feel like the biggest enemy of women's happiness is women. Like, at least online. Like, no, I don't know about real life, but I feel like online, I feel like women are always like cutting each other's throat for no reason. This is so weird.
First of all, really weird way to say that. She looks like a child.
extremely
Show
weird.
me her titties. Also, I love how like when anime women have huge boobs, it's disgusting, Coomer brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she is a child and you're a chimo. Can't fucking win. Also, if she had big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like that actually exists in real life.
No
like adult
way.
human women
No.
can have small boobs.
No.
We love all titties here on the Shoe0nHead channel. All titties is good titties. End of story. Women fantasy. A boyfriend with depth and the loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy. 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler. Also notice how she's literally the shape and size of a child. Yuck. Have you people ever seen a child? No. You're all childless. Silly me. She's not even that
The fact is that all of them are kids. They're probably 15 or 16-year-old just yapping bullshit.
short. She's just sitting. See, like when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy. And listen, I know with anime it can get a little weird, right? Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000 years old and this is Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks like a cute woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean? You have all like the Insta baddies, the e-thoughts, the e-girls, the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes.
Ooh.
But I feel like every woman is just hot
So more
now.
of the last one.
Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever. You shouldn't wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of like the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life like 20 times before you've had like your morning cup of coffee. You shouldn't log in and immediately be one-shotted by 10 tens all day, as if that wouldn't make you go insane, as if
We've already lost our mind. The problem is that this has been a situation for us for many, many years. Our standards are cooked. We're just cooked. That's why everybody's single. That's why nobody's dating. That's why birth rates have been reduced so much. Because we're all just fucking we're too up our horses. Like we are too up in our asses, just constantly thinking that the one we're looking at are below us and they are not better, blah blah blah. And then we never date, and then if you do date, there's always something wrong. You don't want to proceed, and you just enjoy being alone and single and not do anything. Like nobody want to do shit, man, because all we do is like consume all of this Coomer bullshit on the internet where everybody's perfect. But whenever you go and start dating people, obviously you're going to compare them to whatever the fuck you see. I mean, that's why a lot of people nowadays are struggling to date, because they're, I don't know. At least that's what I heard about dating apps, is that a lot of people are struggling to swipe right or left. I don't know. Whatever tells them that they're interested. Because they compare their pictures to the one they're looking at to like Instagram models or TikTok models or supermodels. Which you shouldn't do. It doesn't really make sense.
that wouldn't make you crash out. Like back in the day, you'd probably see like one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you'd think about her for 40 years until the day you die. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be.
Nice.
Now every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of ass. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster, and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox, no lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. And now women are full of hate and SSRIs. But they're hot. They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever been in history.
What a great time.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime. I didn't take my...
I don't know how we got here, but this is the problem with filters, man. Dude, I remember when I showed y'all the picture of the dude that had makeup on, and then he looked like he was a homeless 60-year-old man. and then he made himself look like a 20-year-old girl. Like filters, Chinese filters are like so overpowered now that everything we look on the internet, they just all look 10 out of 10.
My Vivans today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak for a lot of women here when I say our fantasies do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like,
So
honey,
weird.
just a reminder you're in your luteal
So
phase,
weird.
I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they want this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready or their son when he's misbehaving.
This has 557 likes. What the? Where do these people come from?
First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But there are in fact good men out there. I've seen them. Some may be in this very audience. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. This is the Shoe0nHead audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst. Men are guilty until they prove themselves innocent. You know what?
That makes
I take my
sense.
opinions back on free speech. I changed my mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave. A woman's fantasy is a man who won't rape her, and a man's fantasy is raping a woman. I'm sorry, where is the rape, ma'am? Maybe that's how you see it, because you're brainwashed to hate men. So true.
I know this is hard to believe, guys, but remember that all of these comments come from a romance anime where a guy is in love or is together with a disabled girl, and there's nothing wrong happening. They're just both bonding and start falling in love for each other. All of these comments are spewing from a romance anime between two young individuals that are falling in love. Can you believe that? Oh my god.
I hate how. But in reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, god damn it. We just want a happy relationship. Is it so much to ask for? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh look, more misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men. This is why 70% of
I want every time somebody writes misogynistic, fascist, racist, I want them to be required to go through a documentary of the topic, and they must watch it. Every month, they must watch it fully. And there needs to be eye tracking that you're watching it, so they understand what those things mean. Because at the moment, we are living in a time where everybody's just spewing those words out.
anime is garbage.
Everyone
So,
labeling shit.
here's the thing, that misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe.
No way.
A woman. A woman wrote this story. And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well. A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to sit here and tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor coming to rescue you and falling in love with you? Why on earth are so many women so mad at this? Are men now the hopeless romantics? Are men now the ones yearning for a fairy tale romance? Is this why all the Disney remakes are like, she's not gonna be saved by the prince, she's a strong, independent woman?
I think that in some way, yeah. That's why you see a lot of there's a lot of women and girls out there that are like really mad at Disney, because like they're like, we don't need the Prince Charming anymore. And there's like a lot of people that like that story. A lot of people enjoy the factor of having the idea of a Prince Charming. But for some reason, all of these romantic stories are being pushed away, and people are trying to make it so that women don't like to be loved or have someone care about them and take care of them. Like, I mean, I think that it goes in both ways. Both take care of each other. That's how it works. And that's how it works in every story like this. Like no Prince Charming is out without their like princess as well. And they assist them with each of their flaws as well. Like it's just how it works.
Meanwhile, men still want to be the prince. Men still want to be the knight in shining armor. Men are like, I will save you from your monotonous 9-to-5 job. I will give you a house and babies.
Nice.
And women are like, no, I must be an actuarial consultant. Be gone, vile misogynist. Is that what is occurring here? Also, that aside, there literally is a gender-swapped version of this story called Perfect World. It is a mango. I don't know. Do not come for me, weebs. Men will statistically leave their wives and partners the moment they find out they're disabled or have a life-threatening condition. You're right, it is a fantasy. Actually, that study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health, but that's not really the point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on the wheelchair part of this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind and pure soul get it, but these fucking semen demons out here, they don't get it. But not all semen demons. The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Ah, thank you, a sane person. Hopefully the replies aren't full of people calling her a pick-me. Pick-me alert.
Oh god.
Or least obvious pick-me. Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me. An incel.
And this is why I was telling you, like, the biggest enemy online for women are women. Like, I don't know why people can't just... Why can't you just be normal, man?
Could have written this. Fuck. Why are so
It's a perfect example how women tear each other down. Exactly.
many VTubers either pygmies or racists? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist and-
I want to say one thing though. W and a lot of, like, again, the majority of VTubers are fucking following trends and just following whatever the crowd's saying. But I've started to see a little bit more of VTubers saying fuck you to all of these big groups of people that are just witch hunting, that want to have these ideas and norms that doesn't even align with normal people. Like, I'm gonna be real, like, anybody that just says, I don't give a shit, a big W from me, holy.
PC line, because they can. See, the most powerful weapon women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pick-me or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive in female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous. They can say anything they want. They're basically wearing a mask. They're free from the chains of the eternal HR Longhouse. But apparently, even being anonymous online does not save them, because they still get doxxed for simply not hating men.
Yeah.
Lovely. Maybe I should save this rant for a different video someday. Moving on. Men are why we can't have nice-
If she makes a video about VTubers, oh my god. Oh, there's endless content about how stupid Twitter on VTubers are. Oh my god. You will find the weirdest, most degenerate, odd people out there. I hate the doxing culture. It's so cringe. I hope that everybody that doxes gets arrested. I'm gonna be real. I think that everybody that has a scenario like that should pursue arresting them. They should contact their local law enforcement and request Twitter to give them their information. Because even if you use a VPN and all of that, they will have your information. It doesn't really matter if you've not put it in. Law enforcement can find it, and they should definitely charge them.
Things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things.
Thank you. Pick me. Oh.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. Also,
W.
I just realized it was a man saying that. It was a whole-ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve
Sam.
this trophy. This is for you, sir. This is for you. I'm not worthy.
And that's
Listen,
what we call
I
a
make
simp.
women jokes. I'm very critical of feminism and propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some shit like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom. I have female family members. I have female friends. Maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place, and like men, can be flawed and deserve criticism, like anyone else. But there is something genuinely so cucked about people who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating white people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people.
Oh god.
White people are so evil. I hate being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross. You're not getting into Wakanda, bro. You're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough. But yeah, women were not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy. It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that. But to glorify it? This anime is certainly Marxist propaganda. The movie is about him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams come true. So it is Marxist propaganda to help a disabled person pursue their dreams? Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Every piece of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political brain rot.
Am I the only one that don't have a single friend that thinks these ways in real life? I only see these ideas. Maybe it's because of where I'm from as well. I don't know. Maybe if you like, I don't know. Like, I don't see anybody thinking these weird ways or acting these weird ways. Like a sort of mental behavior I notice a lot online. I've never noticed it or met it like in real life. It's quite odd. It's really odd. Finally, a woman that won't run away from me. Yeah, she's... Oh god, come on, dude.
If you're at the point where you see this and you're thinking of communism, you need to log off.
They're all home? Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry, but when I reproduce, I don't want a high probability of my offspring being mentally or physically retarded. We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded. She's not retarded, she has a spinal injury that's not genetic. Also, what is this LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of
How do you make a mentally disabled individual retarded? How did that... Wait, what?
Like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all do. All these, like, I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs off of his Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina boot cheeks. My fantasy is not being a simp, but okay. Fellas, is it simping to love a woman? Nah,
yeah,
this is not the male fantasy. That man is a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for chat.
Are we bringing back beta males? Are we bringing back beta males and alpha males? Because I haven't heard those terms in a while. Like, people don't say that shit anymore. I thought we left that behind in like 2023. But damn, that's crazy. Sigma risk. Bro, this is crazy.
Fellas, is it beta to love a woman?
Yeah.
This is not my fantasy. This is some gay shit, to be honest. Fellas,
yeah, it's gay, man. You love a woman. That's gay. Stop doing... What the hell, man?
Gay to love a woman. What no pussy does to a motherfucker. Brother, I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker, and it's far worse. The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was gonna be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something. It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf. There's that heavy box the pretty girl you work with can't quite lift herself. There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife can't quite open. There's that Lego set your little son can't quite put together himself. Or there is this paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean. This is the princess and the dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love to give. And they want some kind of excuse or mechanism to show that love. In a world where men expressing themselves is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love reading Wikipedia articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia article about like the world's tallest buildings or like a random battle in World War II. I didn't know if this was autism or what, but apparently it's a man thing. Anyway, yes, men love solving problems.
Yes.
And in a world that makes them feel useless, makes them feel like they have no purpose, men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth. They are desperately looking for a purpose in life. So
I mean, that's kind of how it's ingrained in us, right? Like, I mean, think about it, how civilization has been built up in itself. Like that, men always have to do something. They always have to provide or do this or that. Like it's ingrained in yourself that you need to feel like you've done something that day. So being a problem solver or fixing something or learning something, it's like an achievement for the day. Everybody feels that way. I mean, I didn't even know that women didn't feel that way in a sort of sense, but I know that I do, and I think that most men do. Like I see that every guy that owns a house, there's like a million type of hobbies, like, and they fix everything, they build shit. It's crazy how many like extra tasks some dudes make or add upon themselves whenever they like grow a little bit older.
It is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a clip like this and longing for this.
Wow.
A lot of modern men don't have a chance to prove themselves, to make something of their lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone. They are doing everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results.
Yeah.
They're lost. What can they provide? And as I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair is the protector and provider instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden, but towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not because he gets something in return, but because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy in return.
No
Loyalty,
way.
duty, virtue, acts of service, big or small. Men live for that shit. And yes, these are stereotypes. Not everyone fits into these boxes, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship, that is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the strong, independent woman they've been sold.
They think that men only wants. They can't. Like, I think that a lot. They don't understand. Like nowadays, people don't get it that dudes just actually enjoy helping people as well. It's not about always being selfish and self-centered. In some ways, the reward is seeing the pleasantry and the happiness of somebody else by your own doing. Like, I feel great if I help somebody and they're happy about it, but it's not like I'm trying to achieve that all the time. But if it happens or I can do it, like people close to me, I'll always try to do everything possible to make them happy. I just don't see why at least the people online can't understand that.
They've been told they need to be.
It feels really good to feel important to someone and to be appreciated. Exactly. It feels great, at least to a partner. I think that in some ways, obviously some people haven't had a partner or haven't really felt that in a way. Whenever you care about a partner in many ways, and they're in a lot of terms, they benefit your life and do so much for your life, both on your emotional part, the way you behave and act, and the ways that you do. You always feel so grateful toward that. And whenever you get a chance, an opportunity to assist them or help them or be a part of, to make their day better, there's a there's already a reward behind that. And it doesn't have to be physical. Not everything has to be physical, man. Someone banned. Okay. Anyways.
Modern woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood crafted modern woman, this woman does need her man. She is not strong and she's not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie, Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Because I can depend on you. I know that if I ever feel frightened, I can just reach out to you.
Men simply want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live.
Yeah.
This manifests in a lot of ways, but the most common is having a loving partner and
purpose and pride.
Family.
Yep.
Something unobtainable to many people nowadays. So yes, literally one of the most normal things ever is becoming a fantasy. Sad. Also, men will deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife.
We do. I think I hit it earlier than I expected. I thought I would hit like, I think I thought I'd like be like 35 or 30 or some bullshit where I'll be thinking about starting a family. But like I'm in my mid 20s and I'm already like thinking about like this doesn't sound that bad.
The morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And that is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating 9-to-5 job, it will all be for something bigger and more important than yourself one day. You will come home to a warm and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love you, and rely on you, and everything will make sense then. Until then, you'll just be on the internet, being called a misogynist, for wanting something bigger and more important than yourself, for wanting something beautiful and normal.
That's right.
That is the average male fantasy. That and 3 hot chicks at once. Hell
That's
yeah,
right.
brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
You know what I'm
Who
saying?
said
so
no?
that was that little video. Men in the comments, let me know. Am I correct? Is that the average male fantasy? Or is it not that deep? Men and women in the comments, what is your fantasy? And no, I don't mean that. I don't want to hear about how you want to be crushed by a 12-foot futa.
Want to start a family with 3 hot babes. That's exactly it. You got it right on there, Shoe0nHead. That's right.
That is between you and God, not you and Shoe0nHead. I mean, what is your ultimate dream? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want a nice big family one day? Do you want to own a farm? Do you want to live in a shed in the woods and make pipe bombs? Let me know in the comments and I will see you soon with a new video.
I think that the only dream and fantasy I have is that I know I am living my life the way I want to, and whenever the experience I wish to have is met. Like I feel like in some ways I've done a lot of the things I want to do. I travel a lot. I hang out. I have a lot of friends. I have a loving family. And yeah, sure, I might not be in a relationship and I might not have started a family or something like that. But those things are not, like, in my opinion, they're not really a big priority in my list. But in some ways, I can see where those things can also be nice. I can look at a romance anime or a romance novel, read a romance novel, or watch a romance movie and see things within it that I wish to have as well. I mean, in some ways, maybe they pushes the biological clock wanting to start a family a little bit more. But often, like, it's I'm in no rush. I think that in some way it's really odd to me to see people behave this way and react to just a basic story like this. Like, if disabled people are not normal humans, that they can't comprehend love or have any self-control or what they do in life or what they choose in life. It's really belittling, and it shows a lot how what is it called again? Like how stuck up they are on the internet, how they haven't really lived life, and how weird a lot of these people are, man. I'm so glad I just don't use Twitter or Reddit or anything, because I feel like these ideas are shared so much. Like, the thing is that when you're like a kid or you're a teenager, your environment has such a big effect on the way you are thinking, the way you comprehend things, the way you respond to things. So whenever you are antisocial, you don't have friends, and all you do is sit on Reddit and Twitter and look at all of this bullshit. Now, obviously, these things will have a big effect on the way you view things. And that's the biggest problem. I'm gonna be real. I always thought this way. I think all of these media, social medias, and all of these forums and stuff, you shouldn't even be able to use them until you're like 18. Because, like, I'm seeing all of these kids kind of pop off and they turn into the worst adults. Some of them grow up. Some of them actually start living life and grow up, but it takes a long time because they've been in this stuck up in this fucking environment for so long that they can't get it away. It's ingrained in their brain, and I think is a big problem. I really do. I really do. You look at all those college kids nowadays, people are popping the fuck off. Like, I'm gonna be real. Imagine how many dishes will get washed if you have three at the same time. Yeah, exactly. One can clean the dishes, one can like vacuum clean and clean the house, and the third one can make food. Exactly, the male fantasy right there. Fucking hell. Now there people will scream misogyny. Holy fuck. It's popular to hate men on social media. The whole bear thing was so stupid. I could understand the bear, but I feel like the idea of hating men has become like there's like backlogs to this in many ways. And let's not ignore the fact that men also hate women on the internet. We have incels and shit like that. None of both are bad. And I think that in the end of the day, this has nothing to do with the gender that people are or the sex people have. Like, this has to do with people being just too much on the internet, man. They're just young, dumb, and rotted. Their brain is rotted from all of the ideals and thoughts that come out of the internet. That's just the fact of it. And I'm gonna be real. I think this. I look at this and I just think this whole shit is dumb. Just a male fantasy, to be honest. One gorilla versus 100 men. Now that is a male fantasy. Male fantasies are the dumbest things you could ever think. I don't think girls won't understand this. But like, I'm gonna be real, like, we men think about the Roman Empire for some random reason. We think about the most stupid shit. We're thinking how to handle the gorilla in the shower. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Holy fuck.